This is an explanation of 3 different bubble skip patterns, reverse bubble skip patterns, that appear to be identical when you exit Parappa Cave. And I wanted to basically make this as a reminder for myself and to showcase the difference and how you can tell the difference. So when you exit Parappa Cave, there's 3 frames that are exactly the same spawn coming out. As you can see, this is the reverse bubble patterns by frame. These 3 have bottom with a large encounter on the left pattern when you come out of Parappa Cave. Normally this is the pattern you look for to differentiate all the rest of the reverse bubble pattern types and movements. However, even though all 3 of those are the same, the bubble skip pattern might be different. So this one and this one have the same top spawn, but this one has the fairies to the left and right. It's a back spawn, top spawn, with a small behind you on the top and then fairies on the sides. But it's the same one coming out of Parappa Cave. So this is the one I've been having trouble with because it's 1 frame earlier than previously what I used to get all the time. Because these are all the same, and I don't necessarily know the difference until after these spawn, really the choice of where to stand to do the bubble skip needs to be the same. I had already moved over to the top right desert tile to make a faster encounter reverse bubble timing. It's better options. But now doing the same thing with the top right tile, how can you make that the same? And thankfully, the movement for both of these are exactly the same. It works out. There's just a couple of little things you got to be careful of. When you come out of the Heart Cave, this is the way the patterns are going to be. This one has fairies. So the normal one that I've been doing is a left spawn, so you go to the top center and you move right away, and you just bypass them and they'll follow you. It turns out the top spawn with fairies, you can do the same thing because the fairy will move away from you. So you do the same thing, and the little top encounter will chase you, and you can get it pretty quick. This one, which is the one before that, has exactly the same pre-bubble skip pattern. So the biggest question is, how do you differentiate between these two? Because they're all the same, and it's too late by this point, right? After you already have committed to one of these 2 patterns, you got to know where to stand and how to shuffle them. They've got different left center versus the top center. So the difference is, as you walk into Heart Cave, pay attention to the spawn that shows up right before you enter. If it's a right spawn, then you know you got one of these 2 earlier ones. This is also a right spawn. This is just a longer way of saying this one. Pre-heart right spawn versus the bottom spawn. If it's this bottom spawn, which is the same spawn coming out of Parappa Cave, then you got the normal pattern. If you got one of these earlier patterns, if it's a right spawn. So I'm going to show those 3 off now. So the first one is the standard. Standard one that I've been doing for a long time. Bottom spawn at the left and left. And then you go to the top right tile here. So you saw right before that there was a bottom spawn. And now we're going to go to the top center. You just walk left. Pretty simple. The one before it is the fairies. But I'm going to do exactly the same movements. The only difference is when you take out the Korea, it's going to throw a top boom See, that was a right spawn with all the smalls. Whoa, that was this is gonna work. I've moved a couple of times. That top boomerang is a little hard to dodge. Alright, this is going to be fairies, but you can sidestep past them. Comes right at you, it's super fast. Just left to go. The hardest part is just getting over that boomerang. And then finally, this is going to look exactly like the first one. So how do you make the difference? It's the spawn before entering the heart tile. Also, that guy moves really fast. This one's going to be the same as the first one. That's a right spawn now, the larger one on the right. But now, we can't go to the top center because it's a different spawn, so we'll go over here and corral them around. We'll stop. It's exactly the same movement as the smalls pattern, only I'm going to the left tile instead of the right, bottom tile. It's the same movement.